To the Goddess mini series. Today is all about Saraswati. So, thanks for so much for joining us. I am Sita Rose, and this is really just an invitation to delve into the vibration of each of the goddesses. So, we've been taking one a week, and this week we get to explore Saraswati. So Saraswati, I was saying last week, is my home girl. I really feel so deeply connected to Saraswati and uh, in music and in really my coming up of age, like coming into age of speech and how much our language creates a reality. The vibration of words and really getting super uh, refined with how I speak and how I show up with language, which wasn't natural for me growing up. That wasn't a thing that I felt really connected to. And so, Goddess Saraswati, I'm going to share with you a picture, Saraswati. And Saraswati really is our sweet goddess of knowledge, of language, of speech, sound, insight. And so she is our beautiful goddess to call upon when you are in the flow, in your flow state, whether it be connecting to your creativity, in the art of your choice, and throughout the day, how you tune into, creating your reality with speech and the words that you use. And so here we have a beautiful Saraswati, and she's sitting on the edge just by the river. There's a peacock right next to her. She's often depicted riding a swan. She has a beautiful vina, the musical instrument, and like the lute family. It's like a lute. She's got four arms, really seeing the beauty of Saraswati. And so we check in with the representation of each of these objects. And so you see she has a lotus in her hands, which is really the representation of purity and knowledge. She has her beautiful four arms, representing like the inner personality. She has this like otherworldly, like rising above the world in her omnipresence and connection to really being able to discern what is truth, like in meditation, what is emotion, what is thought, and really kind of like a detachment from that, and really in her meditative quality. And so those four arms, the different aspects of the mind. So the front right hand is depicting the manas, the mind. Front left hand is the intellect, buddhi. The left hand in the rear is the conditioned consciousness, so the chitta. And then the right hand, upper right hand, is ego. And so you can see she's holding all these different objects, the rosary signifying concentration, liberation. Her beautiful, the vina. I love the instrument here. It's this representation of like tuning the mind and the intellect in order to live in perfect harmony. So as we are, if you're thinking about the mind as an instrument, we tune instruments as we go to prepare to play them. And so Saraswati reminds us of the beautiful connection of, the tuning of the mind, perfect harmony. And this peacock, I love the peacock here. It's really the symbol of like the fickleness of the mind, or maybe the fears, judgment, indecision, like the lower mind. And so the peacock is kind of glaring up at her and looking. And so here we call upon Saraswati as our connection to the potency, the trust in the transmission of our speech and knowledge. And so I'll share with you, can gaze upon Saraswati as I share with you a couple stories. There's many stories of Saraswati. Probably the first one that is really popular is there was a famous Brahmin scholar, this boy. He was really, really, really good-hearted, but stupid. He like couldn't speak the Sanskrit. He couldn't recite the poetry that, was a measure of a man's worth and dignity in the society. And so instead of, being educated, he was kind of cast aside, and he went and did like all the menial tasks, the cooking, the cleaning, like the stuff that uneducated boys would do. And so one day the boy went to the river and came across this beautiful woman, and he noticed that she was in distress. And, doesn't really matter what happened. Maybe robbers, maybe she lost her purse, maybe blah, blah, blah. But the point is that the son rescued her, took her in, gave her something to drink, fed her, and really just like reassured her and rescued her. And so she was so much in gratitude. She was professing her thanks and her appreciation for this boy. And as she was saying goodbye, she touched her finger to the boy's tongue. And all of a sudden, the boy burst out into verse. He could speak Sanskrit. He was displaying all these powers of memory and speech and rhetoric far beyond his Brahmin father. And he became the most famous speaker in all the land. And this goddess was Saraswati. So Saraswati, when you are about to speak or teach or even in learning, so you are receiving knowledge, Saraswati, we can call upon Saraswati as the goddess of our understanding and knowledge. Another story that you might hear about Saraswati is that Saraswati, was Brahma's consort. So Brahma, the creator of life in the Trinity of the Hindu triad, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And so Saraswati really was dedicated. She had an independence quality to her. She was really dedicated to her practices, her meditation, her study, her music, so much in her creative, she was an extension of creative energy. And so she was not really a quote unquote, well housewife. She did not perform her duties very well. She rarely came in for meals. She barely cooked meals. She, whenever she did come in for meals, she was pretty aloof, or she was like really chatty about all the esoteric matters that were happening that she was, enveloped in. And Brahma became really fed up with her. I was like, you are not a very good wife. And so he divorced her. And so Saraswati is a representation of, once in partnership and then alone. She did not, match up again with another consort. And so she's depicted often alone, floating down the river in her envelopment of creativity. And so Saraswati, I really feel into her as this muse. When you are enveloped in a creative project or connecting to the spirit of your flow state, Saraswati can be the muse. She connects us to our artistic gifts. When you see a beautiful dancer just moving through the flow, or a beautiful musician like Ravi Shankar, just like moving, improvising from note to note with this fluidity, Saraswati is present. And so she teaches us to go within and trust our inherent gifts. And this can also be, each goddess also has a shadow side. And so I would be remiss if I did not connect with that shadow side. If you're feeling like doubt upon your gifts, or questioning your intuition, or questioning your speech, maybe there's confusion or a lack of clarity in your speech. So Saraswati can also be, bringing her into balance when we connect and trust what is present, what is true. And that's, the beauty of clarity of speech. We can also use speech to to manipulate the truth, or to get something from somebody else. Or, we see this in the world, like speech has the power to speak truth and to resonate purity. And the shadow of that is that speech is really powerful and can also manipulate, or impose an idea, or wanting to convince you of something, convince you of a truth. And so just noticing, maybe how that is showing up in your world right now on the collective scale. Here we are in a week before the election. And so how are words used to craft and to, stretch the truth? So as we chant to Saraswati today, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. As we chant to Saraswati today, just inviting you, what is it that you would like to connect with? The creativity, maybe it's connecting to that flow, that ease, purity, the truth of creativity, or your knowledge. And perhaps it's a reflection of your speech. How are you using your speech to create your reality? So just getting curious. Maybe there's a light that you would like to shine on the ways in which you can refine your inner mind, tuning of the thoughts that are internal, or the speech that you use to connect with others. Like, in every word, we have this power to uplift someone. We also have a power to, bring someone down each moment. And so, how are you using your speech today? All right. So, our chant to Saraswati, a mantra to invoke her. Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. And I'll put this in the chat here. Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. Tuning our mind for the purity of knowledge. We're going to chant 108 times. Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. I'll just invite you to really allow yourself to lean in. If at any point in the mantra practice, the mind starts to wander, just allow it, let it flow, and then gently invite the mind back with the breath, with each utterance of the sound, tuning your mind, your instrument, your vibration. Okay. So Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. You can give that a try, just mouthing the words Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. And we'll begin taking a deep full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Softening into the belly, the heart. Allowing the river of creativity to flow through you. Om Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. 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 Om Aim Hrim Saraswati 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 Namaha. Om
Aim Hrim Saraswatyai Namaha. 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 Om Aim Hrim Saraswati 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 Namaha.
Allowing the vibration to settle inside the body, taking notice of your sadhana, your practice, any sensations moving through the body, noticing. Bringing your hands somewhere to rest on the body, maybe the belly, the heart, the legs. Just feeling into the omnipresence, connection, the harmony, aligning your truth, your heart, and your creative energy, allowing it to flow through you. Taking a full deep breath in, open mouth exhale, and bowing to Shakti of Saraswati, the goddess. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for allowing us to recognize our gifts within. Closing with one round of Om, taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. Open mouth exhale. And inhale to Om. Om Shanti 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 He. Bow to you, Saraswati. Bow to each one of you. Thank you so much for joining. I'd love to hear your experience with Saraswati. Feel free to write it in the comments or share. How was that experience for you? What are you refining, tuning inside yourself I know for me, I feel this electricity, this like buzz, kind of a shimmery around my whole body, especially my hands. And so, yeah, just an invitation to share. And next week, hope you can join us. We will be delving into Sita. So we'll be connecting with Goddess Sita. And so this is happening for the next few Fridays. We have, I think, 3 more in this series. You can find more information over at voiceofthecreatrix.com, which is a free community membership site that is for women who are interested in connecting to their voice, their sensuality, the power of Shakti and the goddesses, and so much more. So you're invited to join that over at Voice of the Creatrix. And I just hope you have a wonderful, wonderful experience with Saraswati. Thank you so much.